Hi, I'm new here. I was told by the agency I was going to work with a man named Leroy. Do you know who that is?
That's me. I own the company. The name's Leroy.
Oh, I was told a Mr. Alan Chino owned the company.
Don't ever mention that traitor bastard's name to me again!
Okay, jeez. I didn't think you were gonna freak out. Jesus, man. Well, whatever. What is going to be my position at this establishment?
Clarence, right? You'll be replacing that bastard as my associate.
Okay, one last question.
Anything, my compadre.
What does your company do exactly?
Good question. The real question is, what don't we do?
Okay, what don't you do?
Oh, my good man. The real question is, what do we do?
Okay, you obviously didn't handle the business side of things.
No, I know what we did.
Okay, if you can tell me in the next 5 minutes, I'll work for completely free.
Ah, jeez. Consulting!
What in the name of Jerry Seinfeld?
Consulting.
Okay, what type of consulting?
We unofficially consult movie studios on what their movie did.
Oh, you mean this is a film analysis company?
Don't smart-mouth me, bitch. I'll fight you.
Okay, fine. What film are we consulting first?
Well, I'm not gonna lie. I have no idea.
Okay, what film were you doing before all of this?
Minions?
No.
I mean, we were halfway done.
No!
It wouldn't even take that long.
No!
Jesus, dude, I'm sorry. We'll do something else.
Good. If you ever mention those yellow garbage pieces of fish again, I'll be forced to take action.
Well, you're the new guy here. What do you want to consult?
How about the 1980 Stanley Kubrick classic?
Hello? You were saying?
The Shining, duh.
Never seen it.
Excuse me, sir. I do not believe you are the competent film critic if you have not seen The Shining.
I heard it's good. I'll go watch it. Be right back.
What did you think?
That was boring.
You're joking, right?
I mean, it was kind of tense, but other than that, I almost fell asleep.
Okay, that's it. We're doing this. This scene is one of the best opening scenes I've ever seen. The perfect shots of the car, combined with the eerie soundtrack, establish the tone of the movie. I would say almost, if not completely flawlessly.
Come on, Clary. Can I call you Clary?
Absolutely not.
Whatever. Clary, you brought up some interesting points about the opening shot. It does establish the tone, the very boring tone. I commend the soundtrack for being really fucking good. I would say that the mundane visuals of just a car with names doesn't really strike fear into me. It sounds like it's building up to something, but nothing ever really happens.
Oh, I assume you'd rather have something jump out at us once the first track peaks.
I mean, it wouldn't hurt to have some payoff at all. It's just teasing me, and that happens enough on Tinder.
Okay, I sort of see your point. You want some payoff, but what I don't think you understand is that it actually is payoff in of itself. The way the scene ends at the hotel, showing us that the place is bad without a single line of dialogue.
Okay then, explain later when... They just tell you that this place is haunted.
He killed his family with an axe.
Listen here, Leroy. That is obviously there to introduce context to the situation, not to tell you if the place is bad, because they already established that with the opening scene.
If they really needed that, they could have just had a newspaper article catch Jack's eye, not have this long, drawn-out explanation.
Oh, I didn't know you could read.
I swear to Ford, I'll fire you.
Fine. It's a little longer than it could be, but I don't think impatience should be a deciding factor to deciding how well made or entertaining the film is.
You're right, but in most really great long movies, you don't really feel the length so much, like the Lord of the Rings movies.
Maybe if you just appreciate the craft of filmmaking, you wouldn't feel the length so much.
Let's just move on to the clunky parts.
Are you calling the mother-son intro clunky?
Yeah, I'll let you go first before I destroy you.
Okay, now we get to the introduction to the mother and son, and it's really quite well done. They're just chilling and watching some TV, having little talk about moving to a hotel for 6 months. She asks the kid, he responds in kind. Then she asks Tony. First you think that it's someone else outside the frame she's talking to, But why is she looking at the kid? Then the kid does the line, and out comes...
What about Tony? He's looking forward to the hotel, I bet.
Just a masterful introduction. Top that, Leroy.
Okay, she asks the kid, then the kid gives kind of a teenage answer that usually kids don't give, which isn't the worst thing ever, but then she asks Tony, like, what mother would encourage this behavior in a child? An imaginary friend doesn't usually talk like that, but the mother just writes it off as normal child behavior. I could get it if Tony answered for him and then the mother sort of flinched, but why does she physically ask Tony?
He's a kid. They all have imaginary friends. I had one. You probably had one.
Seinfeld, no.
See, it's not normal adult behavior. But he's a kid right now, so why should the mother suspect him?
Touché, my good man.
Okay, now we have the real tone establishing scene. Oh boy. Where we see that Tony isn't just a bit of fun. He talks with Tony alone, then gets these amazing visions with a huge, some might say impressive amount of blood which comes around, and we get flashes of these two girls who we assume are the dead girls, which is why we needed that context, among many other reasons.
I completely agree. I enjoy the visual tone setting along with the soundtrack, and not just a car.
Oh, thank you for agreeing with me.
However, this scene with the doctor is stupid.
How? Like it's just a concerned mother getting a doctor.
It's more explanation for things we already know. Like if they really wanted the scene, just have it be a minute or two of the doctor saying that the kid's fine and they don't know what caused it.
I will murder you.
What?
I mean, there's a lot of important character development for these characters. It may not be immediately important to the story, but later it really makes you feel for the characters, like any good movie should.
That's my problem. There's just too much waiting for action, and not enough action. It's nothing compared to the hella good horror movie like The Babadook, where there's a lot of action with good build-up.
Right about now, the Funk Soul Brother.
Huh? My question is, where's the action?
It's not an action film.
Excuse me?
It's horror.
Jack Nicholson in a horror movie? Sounds stupid.
Are you a real person?
So, Jack drives up with his family and we get this really interesting scene about television that I think is a reference to their unhappy marriage.
I know all about cannibalism. I saw it on TV.
See? It's okay. You saw it on the television.
Good pickup line, my homie.
Don't ever say that again.
Right. Anyway, their man introduces them to the cook. Then Jack walks off, and we get this amazing reveal to the little Danny's power of foresight.
How'd you like some ice cream, Doc?
Clarence, honey, baby. You had a little thing going there at the end, but you gotta realize this scene drags on way too much after that. There's so much unneeded dialogue. I mean, Stanley Kubrick is a genius movie maker, but he has a habit of drawing out scenes needlessly.
Do you understand what you're saying? He did this to capture real human emotion and actual realism in his films.
But what if you just wanted to get into the meat of the movie? The more meaningful character development of Jack's insanity, Wendy's love for her son, or even Danny's shine
You're
power.
just jealous you can't write good characters. I've seen your movie.
You best shut up, boy.
Well, this part with the cook and Danny talking about the power is cool.
It's just a way for them to say the name of the goddamn movie.
You know that scene from The Godfather?
The horse one?
Keep bad-mouthing Kubrick. We'll see what happens.
They get settled in, and BAM! 2 months later.
This is where things get interesting. Jack gets woken up with some eloquent breakfast. You can see that he's been struggling a bit with his writing, which I think we can all relate with. Okay, now we get to a reference to Jack's loss of life for his wife. When she comes in with some really good-looking lunch, then he just goes off on her.
This part I actually liked because anything was actually happening.
Well then, my good man, you must have enjoyed the rest of the movie as well.
You didn't let me finish. I liked it, but it still dragged on too long. I mean, we get the point.
Tell me, how short do these portions have to be for you?
They don't have to be short. They just have to end at the time they end. I mean, this movie reminds me of the end of Return of the King, where you feel like it should end.
Are you real?
I had the same problem with 2001. Too much heavy breathing.
But the perfect score!
I agree the soundtrack is pretty good, but buddy, the visuals and imagery are not. If this was an audiobook and they added the soundtrack, it would have been better because it would match to what's actually happening.
One word. Tone.
One word. Dick.
Okay, moving on.
You are so annoying. I don't get this whole thing after with her and the kid. I thought the whole beginning was telling you this. Why do we gotta sit through more of the same shit?
You really don't understand. It's to show that Jack has been fading out of sanity when he looks down at the maze and sees his wife and child running through.
Chum, couldn't they have had that without the obvious reference to the end that they already showed?
Okay, listen here, dude. This was one of the most creative ways they could have done this. If they had him talk to a painting or something, it would have been more dialogue, which would have been okay. Silent approach, more chilling.
Bitch, I ain't even skate!
Are you literally an ape in a human costume?
My man, my man! Holy shit, I do enjoy bananas. Oh boy, more time with this dumb kid.
But this is so good. He gets to see these girls, then they're dead. I know I'm paraphrasing the scene, but I can't describe it because it's silence used to its almost perfection.
Silence? If I wanted that, I'd be watching some of the old Charles Chaplin.
I think this is my favorite part. What about you?
I like the bathroom scene.
Okay, that's a little odd. But this begins with them watching the film Summer of 42, when Danny wants to get his fire engine, as most kids have. The mom, rightfully scared of her husband, reluctantly lets her kid go get his truck. So he gets there and...
Jackstroke it out, dude!
Be quiet. I'm describing love. So he has an extremely tense talk with his father about the hotel, and if he would ever hurt him. And I think in this one scene where Jack Nicholson's performance really shines, he seems so real and angry.
Shines? Really? That pun?
Yes. Now, after this extremely tense scene...
I got this. So, a bouncing ball picks up Danny with its sexy, perfectly curved body. He's lured into room 237, which had been mentioned before. And then, with all this build-up, nothing happens!
Well, I guess you explained that pretty well. But we go back to Wendy. She's sitting around when she hears a piercing scream of Jack from his office. So as a loving wife, she runs in. She wakes him up and notices he had a nightmare. While she's comforting him, though, she hears a terrifying line.
It's the most horrible dream I ever had.
It's okay now. Really.
Well, I dreamed that I killed you and Danny. But I didn't just kill you. Cut you up into little pieces. Oh, my God.
How is that scary? You make no sense.
Just wait a second, okay? It's really scary, because their kid walks up with marks from being choked. So in a stroke of genius storytelling, the mother gets mad at Jack showing that she really is super paranoid.
Oh, so it's a stroke of genius that she assumes her husband, who just said he had a dream he killed them, hurt Danny? Okay. I guess it was a stroke of genius that I thought I was addicted after the 50th shot of heroin.
No, you don't get it. Wait, what?
Moving on!
Okay. So now we get to a really excellent reincorporation of a previous subject. Jack used to be an alcoholic before he accidentally dislocated his son's shoulder and quit. So now we see that he has lost care for his family as he emits the line.
In my goddamn soul. Just a glass of beer.
Clarence?
What?
You forgot to mention that the bartender was a ghost. Boo!
Oh my God. I forgot?
As you have forgotten, I will take the next part.
Please, no!
I gotcha! So, Whitney comes back with the bat and is like, Jack, there's someone in the house! And Jack is almost ready to kill his family. And I'm hyped because, let me tell you, this girl is not that great of an actress. Okay now, bro. Danny and the cook from earlier start to shine to each other. Danny sends an SOS out to the cook, and the cook is like, let me call the hotel.
That's so racist.
So he calls the hotel, and the hotel can't pick up because of the storm. So he calls the radio station so they can radio it to the hotel. So they do. Then Jack takes some chips out or something because he wants to have sex with the hotel or something.
You're so bad at this. I can see why this company's failing.
You know what? I'll let you do this next one. Just try to smart your way out of this one.
So Jack goes up to room 237, and then he encounters an attractive naked lady in the bathtub. Then he kisses her, which I believe is implying that all loyalty to his wife has been lost. Halfway through, she transforms into this disgusting woman covered in sores, which is implying that it was evil and disgusting, what he just did.
That's stupid.
But
So Jack comes back and lies to Wendy, saying that nothing happened. That implies that Danny did it to himself. But my question is, why did she believe him? I mean, the kid's a kid, so maybe he was scared of Jack and told a lie as to not have more choking? I mean, if Wendy was really that protective of her son, there's no way she would have believed him.
Well,
My mouth is dry. I'm gonna go get some water.
So, Jack goes back to the ballroom and is surrounded by people. So he goes up to the bartender and orders some dog. He takes it and gets up when a mysterious butler pours some drinks on his jacket. So they go to Kubrick's trademark bathroom to clean. Jack recognizes the butler as the father that killed the two girls. The butler denies this, but then hints that it definitely was him.
Whoa. So they go through the whole he didn't kill them shtick, then sort of just tell him? So what's the point?
Point was that the butler says that Jack was him. He says that he was the caretaker since the hotel was founded, and not the butler, to complete the parallel between Jack and the old caretaker.
Hey, Clarence.
What?
What do you call it when a fetus gets its leg bone?
What?
The shinning.
My God, that was bad. Anyways, so now we have one of the most famous scenes in the movie, and I think it's extremely well done. We see Jack typing, then cut to Wendy. She walks in and sees the paper that says, "All work and no play, make Jack a dull boy." This is cool because there's a lot of paper. Way too much for him to have just written. So you wonder how long he's been insane.
Then Jack goes boo, and she gets scared. So then he gets really mad at her because she's showing a lot of serious concern for their child. But since I think Jack and the hotel are friends with benefits, he doesn't want Danny to leave. So she hits him with the bat twice and shoves him into the pantry. Oh, and by the way, the cook from before is coming to the hotel, just in case you didn't know.
So, in a really interesting part, she tells her son that they're gonna ride the snow car to drive to a town, but then Jack laughs because he destroyed that. And I think that Jack Nicholson's performance is really creepy in this scene. Even the hammy laughter is still really creepy.
Then something happens. The butler from before comes over to the pantry and unlocks it. So I guess it's a ghost with real? So, in a hotel with a crazy man, she goes to sleep? In their room? Why didn't she go to a different room or even sleep in a hiding place just in case? What the hell?
She thinks he's locked up. How would he get out? She doesn't know about ghosts. But then Danny has succumbed so completely to Tony that Tony gets up out of bed, takes his mother's lipstick and writes "red rum" on the wall, then wakes her up, and from the reflection in the mirror, she sees murder. So, Tony is the manifestation of Danny's shine, telling his mother that they're about to be killed.
So then Jack, right on cue, breaks into their room and sends them to the best part of the movie, in the bathroom. So Jack starts monologuing from Three Little Pigs, then breaks down the door. So then the mother sends the child out, but then instead of running away, Danny runs back into the hotel with the murderous person and hides in the kitchen. So after the classic,
Here's Johnny.
so he reaches through the door and she cuts his hand. So instead of breaking down the door more and waiting for her to leave because she has no way out, so instead of that, Jack hears the cook enter. So He looks up at him, then without the cook noticing, he hides behind a pillar. And even though they had so much buildup for this guy to come here, he's immediately killed. So it's all useless. After that, he leaves to go get the kid because he hears him coming back in. And then when he gets to the kid immediately bails on his perfectly fine hiding space.
Okay. I don't think you understand. If he had continued to break down the door, she could have stabbed him. And the kid ran back into the hotel because he needed to make sure his mother was okay. Let me take it from here, you bloody corpse of a human being. So now the mother sees all the spirits to know that they are actual physical, supernatural beings, which explains the unlocking. Then she runs to a huge amount of blood pouring out that we had seen throughout the movie, which is awesome.
So he chases down this kid into the maze, and instead of waiting for his kid or leaving to go kill his wife, he chases him through the maze.
He's in a heat of passion.
Whatever. Anyway, this dumb kid outsmarts his dad.
It's actually Tony, still, learning a trick from the Indian burial ground previously mentioned.
No. Okay? No. So, Jack can't get out, but the kid can, so Danny and his mother leave and we get this hilarious face that Jack makes.
Then we get one of the best ambiguous endings of all time. A slow zoom on Jack from a photo of the 1920s, years before this film takes place. A beautiful ending to a beautiful movie.
A dumb ending to a boring movie.
Leroy, it's time to die.
What?
You are committing heresy, and the only release from your idiocracy is homicide.
Dude, what?
This movie is genius. Everything I see is sublime.
Okay, I mean, I didn't really like it, but...
It's because you're stupid. You're nothing but a low-level slime that deserves to be gunned down in the street like the degenerate you are.
Dude, I'm sorry.
Did you know this movie was panned on release?
It was?
Yes, which is why it's so offensively brain-dead of you to think that you can pan it more. It's been through enough.
Bro, it's not a human, it's a movie.
Yes, and films are my friends. They're always there for me, and none of them are mean to me. A film will never betray you, never hurt you, never even call you a name.
Clarence, you're scaring me.
Good. I want you to feel fear in your last moments. Fear and loneliness as the last breath of air seeps from your lungs when I take your life.
You need to chill.
Any last words?
Miss me.